It can be overwhelming. Sometimes I have this use case funnel, like I've got use cases from everyone. Everyone wants AI. How do I navigate it?
The entire AI industry has this attitude of, I gave you something wonderful, you should be happy.
Sridhar, thanks so much for joining us here at our Deloitte offices in New York. I love the work that we're doing together on our alliance. Really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you, Jim. There's lots of great stuff coming. Excited for this conversation.
Well, maybe help me and sort of the folks that are listening in understand a little bit more about how Snowflake is bringing AI to data. Like we understand Snowflake a lot about from a data storage perspective, but there's so much more to the story. I'd love to understand more about it.
Totally. First of all, Snowflake is the definitive data cloud, the data platform that is out there for over 10 years. We have helped people literally get more from their data.
Yeah.
Whether it's insights or machine learning to predict the future, everybody has been doing that. We thought of AI as an extension of the role that we played with data. The world's most interesting enterprise data is already on Snowflake. We see AI as vastly accelerating how the data gets in the hand of end users and how you can get value from it. So the first year was a lot of early building to do things like chatbots on unstructured data so that you can rip through a set of documents and just be able to interactively answer questions. We did the same for structured data. And now it all comes together into this platform called Snowflake Intelligence that lets us build the next generation of both chatbots, but also agentic workflows.
Yeah, and you can't go a moment without talking about agentic workflows now in the world of AI. But maybe before we get to agents, like one of the really important things I hear about from an AI perspective that we really focus on is trust. And I think the element of trust is so important from a data perspective, and having all your data in a consistent stored place really adds to that. But there's more to the trust story, I'm sure.
That's right. I think there is a lot that we take for granted when it comes to software. When you open an app on your phone, for example, you have this implicit understanding of what it's supposed to do. You expect the Uber app to get you the car that you want.
You don't.
It's like, and soon. But I think what is unique in this very early phase of AI is the entire AI industry has this attitude of, I gave you something wonderful, you should be happy.
Use it. Love it every day.
But then you go like, wait, when is it right? When is it wrong? To me, that's where good old discipline in how you think about software engineering. By the way, we also applied it to things like machine learning, where people will talk about what's the precision. How many times does the algorithm get the answer right when it says that it got it right? Things like that. And so we have to apply that kind of methodology to AI applications as well. So I have lots of friends who are not in the field of AI, who are not computer scientists, who are doctors, for example, who have kind of like this simplistic belief, AI is going to solve everything. I don't really understand whether I am going to have a role. And I go, no. You have all the tools you need to figure out whether AI is going to be good at something. You need to go back to how much can you trust? How much of what you needed to do will it actually do and get right? So I think going back to basics in terms of how you think about creating AI applications, measuring when they are correct, and then keeping it correct as you make a lot of changes. Remember, AI applications change on a dime. If you change the prompt, all of a sudden they behave differently.
Change models, exactly.
So it is, how do you bring back that software engineering discipline to AI applications, magical as they are? I think that's front and center in how we think about AI and its applications.
That makes so much sense. I mean, the way we think about it too is that we sort of classify as machine trust. Like we want to trust the machine that's creating. The other side of it too is this human trust, which you were getting at a little bit with the doctors and the user experience, is that as consumers, we're getting a ton of AI and we have to use it and understand it. But the enterprise customers are maybe not getting as much AI, or they maybe even a little less trustworthy of some of the AI solutions they're seeing now.
There are lots of people that are pitching them AI. But you need it to be at a much higher quality than what you can get from a consumer product. I tell people, hey, listen, if we make a chatbot and give it to Scarpelli, who is my CFO, and he says, how much revenue did we make yesterday? I go, some things, are not a matter of subjective perspective. I'm like, there are facts, and then there are opinions. And so I think the bar for trust is high. And the bar for trust is even higher now, precisely because things like deep research. Have you used ChatGPT deep research?
Yes, I have.
It's magical.
Yeah.
You can give it a brand new topic and you get like this custom paper written just for you.
It's amazing.
With the perspective that you want. You can even say, hey, this is who I am. I'm this kind of scientist or some other, business analyst. Give it to me like you're writing it for this business analyst.
Yeah.
It's incredibly powerful. But the big but with something like that is when it comes to enterprises or when it comes to quantitative data, it is truly terrible.
Yeah.
Because the data that it has access to isn't that great.
Right.
That's where the combination of AI and a platform like Snowflake, we get a chance to unlock huge value for companies because you need all of these three. You need the business context, you need the business data, and you need the magic of these models.
So let's think about the Deloitte and Snowflake alliance. That's an alliance that's designed to drive a ton of value for our clients. What's some of the unique things you're hearing about how the alliance works and the things we're thinking about to really help clients?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, what you folks bring are deep context into how many of the largest enterprises in the world operate. We bring the data platform parts of it. The most interesting pieces of data in these companies are stored with Snowflake.
Yeah.
And we also bring the tools that you need with AI, for example, to be able to unlock new value from it. It is a combination that is working really, really well. We're rapidly expanding the set of customers that we work together with.
Yes.
But we think, especially in this world of AI, there's just a lot more that we can do together.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. There's so much we can do together. And I think kind of our combination of industry advantage, which we talk a lot about in terms of that deep domain and sector depth that we have, really unlocks the power of the data for clients and specifically in AI workloads.
That's right.
I mean, maybe thinking about other AI workloads, we talked about AI agents.
Yeah.
What's your take on AI agents right now in the market? There's a lot of people talking about agents everywhere. So I'd love to hear that first.
When it came to AI, we took a bottoms-up approach to it at Snowflake. Last year, when we first decided to have an AI layer at Snowflake, first of all, we said we want to make it possible for every user of Snowflake, whether it's an analyst or a data engineer or a data scientist, to be able to immediately get value from AI.
Yeah.
This was Cortex.
Yep.
And what that did was it made using AI models as simple as calling a SQL function or calling a Python function. That continues to unlock a ton of use cases because analyzing reports, doing sentiment detection, doing translation, these are all things that people are used to doing with SQL, used to doing in bulk. That was part one.
Yep.
Part two was, how do we make it possible for business users now to directly get access to the data without needing to go through analysts every time?
Sure.
Analysts still have a role to play.
Yep.
They're the ones that understand the semantics of the data. Table names can be super confusing. Processes can be super confusing. You need both the analyst and a business user to be able to answer questions like, how many users did we have yesterday? You might think it's simple, but in practice, it's very complicated. And so once we started creating these higher level primitives that could unlock value from unstructured data, from structured data, that quickly turned into use cases like Siemens, for example, creating a chatbot on the PDFs of the manuals of all of their devices.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, if you're a repair person, you can say, hey, I am trying to repair this air conditioner. What should I be looking for?
Yeah.
So those are the early unlocks, and we have thousands of customers. I've spoken publicly about how we have over 4,000 customers using our AI products, thousands of deployed production use cases. But the excitement right now is in compound AI systems.
Yes.
How do you bring more of these data sources so that everything that matters to a particular persona, for example, if you're a salesperson, you want to know everything that's going on with your customer. If there's news about your customer, you want to know about it. So you want access to the web.
Yeah.
If there are use cases that have gotten updated because somebody made progress, you want to know about that. You want to know how much they are consuming.
Yep.
We are now creating these agent-like platforms that have access to all of the information. So it's a little bit more of a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
I think the next progression is, hey, where you're able to tell the model, look at this piece of quantitative data, and if something is amiss, go do some analysis on my behalf. That does the next part.
Yeah.
That's when things get really interesting, because now portions of work that involve people manually cutting and pasting from different applications into documents or feeding from one into the other, which is the bane of our lives, that begins to get automated. I think that's the thing that people are excited about. But we have taken very much a step-by-step make AI easy to use, make AI broadly applicable, make sure that there are tons of production use cases that are all delivering value, and then get into the more speculative big bang stuff. I was at a customer earlier today, and they were saying, for example, work that used to take an analyst a solid day to do. Research on the web can now be done in 15 minutes with a deep research.
That's awesome.
Now imagine that getting combined with all of the enterprise data that matters to that analyst. I think that's where you see magic unfold.
Totally. I mean, I totally agree with you, because the ability for these systems to connect all the different types of data you're talking about, the structured and unstructured, when you get into multimodal as well, it just is a huge unlock for a ton of different great use cases.
I think that, again, those are the things that people are excited about. We have a product, for example, that analyzes PDFs and extracts structured information from them. All of us have contracts because businesses sign contracts.
Right.
Those contracts have terms. All of a sudden, if you want to ask a question like, hey, what is my indemnity amount for a contract that I signed with so-and-so? Good luck.
3 years ago, who knows where it is.
But all of that information can be can quickly be extracted with AI. I think those are, again, the kinds of use cases. By the way, these are not complicated use cases.
They're practical.
They're relatively simple. And they're focused. To me, starting with that is really important, because that's how you build momentum. You show customers you can realize value with this. We have launched essentially an enablement searching tool. We publish a lot of enablement for all of our sales folks. Out on the road, traveling, walking up this building, trying to find something, super hard. We created a Slack bot for that. That's a huge hit, because it is small, but it's super practical and super relevant to how our sales force operate. I think it is those things that will let people build more and more trust with AI products.
I love it too, because you're connecting it right to meeting the user where they are in their journey. You're not overcomplicating things. You're keeping it simple. And there's a clear value case, which I think we get lost on sometimes with AI, losing the value case.
Doing the very complicated.
Just to kind of say we're doing AI. So like, oh, okay, we're doing AI, but it's not generating a clear value case, or it's not very practical. I love what you guys are doing there. So then maybe talk to me a little bit about what you guys are doing internally, and sort of getting to this a little bit. You hit on one of the use cases. You're embracing this full on.
I spent a lot of time thinking about it, talking to folks about it. I think that it's really important to have a very deliberate philosophy about what is important when it comes to AI. Remember, like, how many folks do you have working at Deloitte?
180,000 at least in the US. That's a lot
of people. And if I look at things like number of distinct job functions, it probably runs in the several hundred at the very least. And each of those people are likely doing hundreds of different kinds of tasks, or they're in those kinds of situations. If you do all of this together, you're like, wait, there's like a million different things that I could try and put AI to work on. It can get quickly out of control, or you can end up spending a lot of time on, honestly, things that are not that impactful, because you just want to apply AI. So at Snowflake, I take a very back to basics, a very reductive view to AI, which is, in this reductive view, we do two things at Snowflake. We produce products, we write software, we run them, and then we sell our software. Okay, it's engineering, it is sales. And so a lot of my energy, for example, is like, what are the best tools that we can provide these folks, the engineers, that will make them go faster? What are the best tools that we can provide to salespeople that will let them sell more in a measurable, quantifiable way? Let's break down where they're spending time, and then go about figuring out how we can improve that. So we spend a lot of time on coding copilots. We spend a lot of time on documentation search. We spend a lot of time on how do you debug production problems quickly, because there's nothing fun about trying to figure out what's wrong at 3 a.m. Similarly, we are working a lot to bring all of the data that's necessary for sales and sales leaders into a single tool. But you begin to get a picture. Absolutely. There are other projects. We have an IT assistant. There is an AI project in the legal team. The finance team is trying to look at, hey, can we create chatbots that will let us get at finance data a whole lot faster? I'm supportive of those things, but making sure that the bulk of your company is focused on what are the things that truly, truly matter, and you're working on making them way better with AI. At least it gives a framework for how should you think about AI within a company.
I love that approach. And I'm wondering, like, pivoting that to our clients, our customers that we serve, What's some of the advice that you give them? Do you say, hey, take that reductive approach as you're looking at your business, as you try to think through this use case funnel? Because it can be overwhelming. Sometimes they have this use case funnel, like I've got use cases from everyone. Everyone wants AI. How do I navigate it?
Again, the reductive version of this conversation with customers.
Yeah.
There are only two things that matter to companies. Make more money, spend less money.
Yeah.
Okay. So I go, every AI project you do,
one of those two things.
Of those two.
Yeah.
And you should only do projects that create that value.
Yeah.
I tell people, grand data unification strategies for 5 years from now, like you should not be doing it. This kind of an approach, again, that says you need to think about utility.
Yeah.
In fact, our best customers start with the business outcome.
Yeah.
I was talking recently to the CMO at a pretty large mobile carrier.
Yeah.
Their take was, I want to slice and dice every possible segment of my customer population and be continuously recomputing things like ARPU. How many dollars are they making for each of these users, average annual revenue per user? And if there is a dip somewhere, I want to be notified about it. They want to do anomaly detection at a massive scale. Not only do they want that, they want to do the follow-up analysis to help figure out why is this happening. There's no question about the utility that a system like this is going to provide. I think having that clarity for what you can do is important. This customer happens to have most of their data on Snowflake already.
Great.
So to a certain extent, that is a much easier problem for them to solve as well. So these are some of the things that we talk to our customers about. But similarly, by the way, we spend a lot of time thinking about what does AI mean for Snowflake, the product. So I have a team that's working on how do we make migrations from legacy systems over to Snowflake a whole lot faster.
Sure.
We provide tools, but migration software can be best defined as engineers solving what they can, not on engineers even bothering to solve the end-to-end of what does it take to migrate from the old system to a new system. I gave them both a mandate and an ultimatum that they had to solve wall clock time. From when a migration starts to when a migration is done. I've told them, go study every bit of it and talk to me about how you can make the entirety of that time go a whole lot faster. And lo and behold, they have come back with a product now that does automated testing. They used to leave that to humans. Because now you can generate synthetic data. You don't even need the production data. You can look at the schema, generate synthetic data for it, populate a new schema in Snowflake with the synthetic data and in the old system, and then be able to do comparisons. You're able to find errors a whole lot earlier in the migration pipeline than at the end when the production data starts flowing in. Similarly, we are also setting up a system for how do you generate synthetic workloads that are going to compare the old system with the new system. And our hope is that this is going to make migrations go a whole lot faster. So there's a lot that can be done with AI inside Snowflake as well. So this is where, again, partners come in, because this means that your ability to drive migration from legacy systems onto a system like Snowflake just got a whole lot faster. So there's a lot that is changing, but having a clear eye towards what creates value, that's always where you should start.
Well, and that helps too, because you get this, I've got a data block, or I don't have the data I need to do the AI that I want to do. This accelerates the path to value because you're not sitting there wondering, can I get the data that I need to drive the AI solution?
That's correct.
Super helpful for the clients as well. Totally get it. Maybe would love to get your take. I mean, you're in Silicon Valley. You see all the excitement that's happening in the tech space around you. How are you able to keep pace with some of these changes too? Because it seems like we're getting hit with these constant innovations and sort of figuring out what's signal and noise in some of the things that we're dealing with as you think about sort of driving AI in your organization and with your clients.
I mean, there is a lot of conversing. There's a lot of trying out tools for yourself. It is absolutely hard. But in a weird way, AI actually comes to the rescue. Because you can now go get yourself a deep research report on practically any topic. And there are lots of people that are writing the pros and cons of every model that is coming out. It's no longer that hard to go crawl that data and be able to write the report. I think we are truly at a place where we as humans are constrained by how much time we are willing to devote to a particular topic, not by the quality of the information that is available. I'm not saying it is easy, but I think there are just lots more tools. My son's a software engineer. He joined a big AI research lab recently.
Okay, great.
And he was complaining, first week, he's complaining about that. There's just so much machine learning here that I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's so painful.
Yeah.
And then a week later, he comes back with, but wait, the ability of these models to explain code, explain what is going on, and explain the concepts behind machine learning is 100 times faster than what it was when I was in college 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm just learning a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
And so I think that curiosity about the tools that are out there, what you can do with them.
Yeah.
I think embracing the chaos is an important point of just keeping up. There's no way to keep up with it all, but the more you willingly engage with these tools and are open-minded and yes, somewhat critical about what's real versus what is hype, I think you can cut through very easily.
Yeah, I try to encourage people just to use them, get your hands dirty with the tools, and then you'll learn how far they can go and what their limitations are.
That's correct.
That's the big advice. Sridhar, it's been great to chat with you. I really appreciate the time. Thanks for coming to New York and sharing your thoughts on what's going on at Snowflake.
Thank you, Jim. I'm very excited for what we're doing together.
Me too. Awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you.